Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lovotico, very well, thank you. Until the end of the season. It's just 16 rounds in this championship, but tonight we are at the Spanish Grand Prix, one of the cornerstone races of the Formula One calendar, located just outside Barcelona. This track is a true all-rounder. It's a technical challenge for the drivers, strategic puzzle for teams, and a fan favorite thanks to the passionate crowds that usually ends up coming to watch these races. So it's a 4.657 kilometer track with 16 corners. This circuit is a perfect test for both driver and car. Usually we see F1 testing come and do their preseason testing at this track due to this track really offering everything. It's a track that requires of a lot of um, downforce, but also a mix of some straight line speed for overtaking as well. So definitely going to be interesting to see what kind of strategy these drivers take in terms of setup wise. Oh, W track, and we've already got a driver off the track, I believe, unless that is lag. There we go. Lopo, I mean, D1 last week was a decent race. It was a decent race in Miami. The sprint race was definitely entertaining. Towards the end of the main race, it was kind of a bit dry, but that is what it is. It is what it is. Hoping for a more entertaining race. I mean, the last two seasons here in Spain, I mean, there's only been one winner, and that is yours truly. So unfortunately, I can't take the Triple Crown. D2, I wasn't around. I didn't commentate for D2 last week. But yeah, usually this track brings some really good racing, some really tight racing with the two DRS zones that we have on this track. So it's going to be interesting strategy-wise. I mean, me personally, I would be seems to be having some pretty good rotation into these corners. You could have won last season, but then yeah, you accused me of running into the back of you and making you break your wing. But in reality, you just ran into the safety car by yourself. Could have, should have, would have. That's all in good spirits. Saw me who missed a braking point there early on in that lap, but regardless, that's a purple second sector. Oh, and goes a little bit wide and invalidates, unfortunately. It's gonna have to come back into the pits. Imola go. I'm so happy that track isn't on the calendar. I mean, not that I would be partaking anyways, as I'm obviously commentating. And Shermanator goes P1 provisionally with a 112.9, decent lap for him. Jaspraz with a 14.4. On board with Divine Eye, our league owner. See what time he's able to set. Coming up to the line now. It's a 13.6, a little bit off the pace there. And we're on board with Yuri now, our championship leader. Leading the championship by 50 points at the moment, so he's got a sizable gap. Just needs to be consistent, finish on the podium for the last 4 races, this one included. And that should be championship secured. Yuri is prone to an error, however, as we've seen the last 2 races. Last time did a 0.7 last time, pole cookie but by 0.4 seconds. Yeah, but qualifying isn't my forte, you see. I've never been a time trial merchant like you. I'm a race specialist, my friend. It's all about who finishes on the top step instead of gets P1 in qualifying, right? But Yuri able to put 1 second between himself and Shermanator so far early on in the session. Definitely a very, very solid lap indeed. On board with Waza now. You're a race specialist too. A race specialist who hasn't won a race has not won a race in this division. Let me me just repeat, has not won a race in this division. What race did you win? Sprint race. The race for pole. On board with Paddy, he seems to be having a pretty scruffy lap at the moment. The car seems to be very, very oversteery indeed. Bahrain and Austria social. Ugh. Ugh. I got taken out in Australia. So, just saying. If I didn't get taken out, that would have been under threat. On board with Kaka. Coming across the line, it's a 12.6, so definitely very competitive indeed. Puts himself P2. Cry. On board with Olwar Ritchie, who's returning after a week's break. Takes some very nice lines indeed. Seems to have some very, very nice rotation. This is a track that Olwar Ritchie did very well in last season. Yes, esports tomorrow. Excited to see that. Apparently they have a new game build for that race, or for the esports racing. You're racing in the Alpine and esports. Well, have I not heard about this? What, in Division 5 of esports, something? Well, Ritchie went a little bit deep there into the narrow corner. D1. D1, what, next week? Or tonight? I haven't seen you during the session. Gonna get pole. Shut up, bro. Naismith now puts himself P4, a solid lap from him. And Olwar Ritchie P2, I didn't see that there, but very, very solid lap indeed from him. He's going to be happy with that. He needs a very good result. And I'm sure he can keep up with Yuri in the early stints. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played F1 really. I mean, I just joined the practice session they had for like 5 minutes, set a couple of laps and finished. But yeah, I haven't played this game. It's kind of boring, to be honest with you right now. It's been a month since he played. Jeez. That is a long time indeed. On board with Jan now, who's going to want to improve from his P8 position. This has been a track that Jan has been very good at in the past. With the esports build, I believe there is more dirty air that they factored in. So it won't just be a DRS train. Well, it still will be a DRS train, but strategy, undercuts will be more effective, and so forth. So I'd expect to see a lot of undercuts in the races that we see tomorrow or during the esports season. Jan having a decent lap so far. Is he going to run into some traffic, or is he going to get a slipstream here? Opt me here for the W? Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. Red Bull Championship win. Jan has been catching this Mercedes in front of him very quickly indeed. Keeps it within track limits and improves up to P4. Fantastic lap from him. Shermanator was able to improve by a couple tenths, but only good enough for P6 at the moment. Tongan also did put in a lap, which was good enough for P3 on the grid. Now, if I'm these drivers, I would be saving a set of soft tires for the race, as the softs, if there is a late safety car from lap 26 onwards, I want to say, from about lap 26, lap 25, lap 26, you want to be on the soft tires. Decrease the game volume. I'm always decreasing the game volume. I can do it, but it's on 2 right now. So, I mean, I still need to hear the game as well. But that's the lowest I'm going to put it. Rios setting a purple first sector. He used all of his ERS in that first sector. Is this a hot lap? I believe it is. No worries, all good. Rios has no more ERS to my badge number. What do you mean? What time is quali tomorrow for esports? I'm not sure. I think it's maybe like 4 p.m. and then the race is at 8 p.m. That's British time. Rios set to complete this lap, does improve and is able to go up 1 position into P7, improvement by about 3 and a bit tenths. Don't know the TikTok shit? Nah, bro, I don't have TikTok. That's just pure brain rot. Pure brain rot. I don't involve myself with those games. Shermanator retired from the session, so he did just go out on the 2 sets. I mean, I would have saved 1 set for right at the end of the session when the grip is at the highest, but each to their own. Have an exam tomorrow at that time, at 4 p.m. I mean, 4 p.m. was, yeah, expected, but... The girls' trends? Yeah, I know. That is true. That is true. That is the only reason I would have TikTok, but when TikTok first started popping off, I had a girlfriend, so I couldn't partake in those devilish temptations, I should say. So Sparrow is the only driver out on track at the moment. Looks like he's on an out lap, I believe. You have one too. Yes, I do not have one anymore. So maybe I should download TikTok. I have downloaded it a couple times and I opened it up and then I was like, what am I doing? And I deleted it. But I think this is a second outlap from Sparrow as he's just burning a little bit of fuel, it seems like. Oof, a little bit wide there, but able to keep it within track limits. PH is better. This guy, man. Twitter's better. X is better. It's the best social media. Ooh, going very wide through that corner there. Your brain is absolutely fried, bro. Might want to check out doctor or something. Ooh, bit of a wiggle there from Sparrow. Going pretty wide indeed. Maybe he's able to go again if he just recharges his ERS from now. Paddy only good enough for P10. Oh, he was beaten by somewhere else. But Paddy is definitely a little bit lower than what we'd expect to see him in recent times. He's been having a decent run of form recently, anyways. See what kind of a lap Sparrow is able to do. Does improve by 2 and a bit tenths, but not good enough to catapult himself into a better position. Yuri EZW. I'm not so sure, you know. Olorichi has some very good pace around here, so if he can stay RS, I mean, so pole position definitely going to be Yuri, but race-wise, it's going to be interesting to see if Olorichi can keep up in DRS. Depends penalty-wise, yeah, absolutely. And Tonga, if he's able to, what he's able to do, because I know he's quick, I think Tonga would be good for P2. Kaka's also on a lap, he's going to be wanting to improve as well. On board with Tonga at the moment. Taking a little bit of the curves there. Track limits are easy. Yeah, I'd say they're easy. There's still plenty of areas where you can get a warning or two. Ooh, very, very deep there from Tongana. I didn't see if this was an improvement of a lap so far, but seems to be falling apart a little bit towards the end of the lap here. Let's see, is he able to improve into P2? No, he is not. So as it stands, Olorichi in P2, Kaka coming across the line, good enough for P3. Easier than Canada. Canada's the fucking worst track on the game. Canada is the worst track on the game. Paddy good enough for P7. Alavriadis not setting a time, so I'm not sure if he's got a qualifying ban or not. There you have it, the grid for... There you have it, there is the grid for the race. I think Tonga's in the chat, but we got 8 people watching now. That's much better than last week, we had 0. Apart from you, I mean, we had you for the sprint race, but then you left, but then we had 0 people in the chat, which was not fun at all for me as a commentator. There you have it, Yuri taking provisional pole position. Ulrich, solid lap from him, just 5 tenths away from Yuri. Naismith is here as well. Come on, my guy. P5 for you. Well done. Good quality, good quality. Be careful of certain terrorists around you. But I want to see a good result from you, my guy. Kaka, our championship, he is second in the championship, I believe. Kaka is second in the championship, so he's got a 50-point gap to Yuri. He's going to want to try and overtake Olorichi as soon as possible. in order to kind of chase down Yuri, but they have to kind of work together if they want to take Yuri off the top spot, not be fighting too much and allow Yuri to get away, because I know Ulrich is going to want to be holding on to that P2 position. But definitely some quick drivers in the top 6, 7, 8, and this is a track, as I mentioned, which is allows some really good close racing. So I'd expect to see a nice long train. But yeah, looking forward to this race. It is looking sunny, no sign of rain from what it seems like, anyways, from my side. And looking forward to see what the drivers can do tonight. The steps, I don't think the steps is here. I didn't see the steps. So he's in P3 in the championship at the moment. This is an opportunity for Paddy to really gain some ground on him for P3 in that um, drivers championship. I'm hungry, man. I want McDonald's. I want a good Mackey's, man. You're having one in 10 minutes? Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order a Mackey's after this race. Kicked you from the session. Okay, that's not good. Can I invite you? Are we friends? We are not friends. Yikes, this is why everyone should always add me. I said it at the start of the season. I did say it at the start of the season. Hopefully you get a invite. You're in the session now? Okay, nice. You'll be able to join after the start of the race, unfortunately. Divine sent you one? Okay, good. Here we have it. Drivers getting ready to go around for their formation lap, and it is a strong mix of medium and hard tires. Now, historically, in the last 2 seasons, which I've won by the way, um, turn one watch, yeah, turn one is going to get spicy. I'd imagine the top 4 or 5 get away and able to, stay behaved. I mean, it is a tricky braking zone. Yeah, yeah, I knew it. Tonga, you're going to be reconnecting after the start of the race. And strategy-wise, mediums is not a bad tire to start on. I mean, I prefer to go. I'd prefer to go on the start on the hards, but it is what it is. And Yuri has had a little bit of a spin, it seems, warming up his tires in an unconventional manner. You can't take it. Yeah, you'll be able to take control after the race start, my friend. So you will have a bad start. You will lose probably a couple positions, but 3-4 seconds in, you'll be able to rejoin. So 4 drivers on hard tires, 2 from the back and 2 at the front, or 1 at the front. Yuri is definitely the best tire to start on, in my opinion. Lorici already in his grid slot. It should save your setup. Don't worry about that. Oh my god. Naismith. Naismith gone for a spin. Or was that Jan? It was Jan or Naismith. One of the two. Aston's just decided to go for a spin. go on board with Kaka actually. Yeah, go on board with Kaka for this race start now. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are away. Kaka with a fantastic start off the line. Oh, having to unfortunately brake a little bit there in order to not run into the back of Yuri, and Ola Ritchie's in the lead as expected. And Kaka actually lost position there. I think he has gained access now. And a bit of a spin towards the back it seems, and Yuri's now fighting side by side with Tongana, losing a bit of time to Ola Ritchie out in front. So if he can use his ERS and get away, that would be ideal. No, Yuri is using it to try and claw back the time that he lost. Kaka all over the place, it seems, a little bit of a wobble. Paddy and Sherminator fighting towards the back as well. Now there is a 1 second gap between Paddy and Sherminator, so that DRS gap has broken. He needs to claw back a couple of tenths if he's going to rejoin that train. Ola Ritchie seems to be very settled indeed. He's got the quicker tires, so if he can break that DRS, that will be incredibly valuable. Yuri's tires don't seem to be quite up to temperature just yet. A little bit of a wobble on the exit there. Not sure if that would have been a track limits violation as well. But he has secured the DRS for this straight here. Oh, that car definitely seems a bit unstable, if I have to say so myself. A little bit hesitant getting on the power there. Seems that Ola Ritchie was much more confident. Did have much more grip, it seems. Divine Eye on Yuri. Oh, Jazz and Mihu going side by side as well. And Paddy is out of the DRS. Oh, no, he is in a DRS. Just was able to sneak in there. He's going to have a tough time getting back within. He's got a couple of tenths to make up to that train ahead. And Yuri is already closed up to within 3 tenths of Ola Ritchie in front of him. Now if this train is smart, and I think most of these drivers are smart in this train, they work together, don't really overtake for a few laps, don't fight, and build that gap between P6 and P7, Naismith and Paddy behind. Sherminator's got to pass Paddy on this lap if he's going to do any fighting with the top 6. See, he is using a little bit of the overtake, seems to be breezing past fairly easily. It's going to be side by side in turn 1. We've done just about, but now they have a 2.4 second gap to build up to P6. Ola Ritchie held on to the lead into turn 1. Tonga following very closely behind, just about 2 tenths behind Yuri at the moment, so could put him under pressure, but if I'm them, I'm working together for the next few laps in order to build that gap to P7. This is a track that we've seen historically Yuri picking up some time penalties on as well. Tonga definitely needs to be in none mode during this section to recharge as much battery as possible. And I think we're going to be seeing a change of lead here. Nicely done from Yuri there. Puts himself into P1. Terminator was just overtaken by Marios then. Although Richie needs to really recharge as much battery as possible. Doesn't seem to be using none that much. Oh, and he's gone a little bit wide there, unfortunately, and has lost a couple positions as a result of that. And Tongan had a little bit of a moment, which has built the gap just a little bit to Yuri, but he's still going to have DRS on the car ahead. Oh. A little bit of a lag spike there from Kaka. Gap to Paddy has grown up to 3.7 seconds from this first train to this second train now. And Ola Ritchie has decided to stick on none now, so he's regaining much more battery than he was before. Oh my goodness. Tongan and Yuri are both out. Oh dear. I think there was a late defense from Yuri there, but that is definitely going to be one for the stewards. And that has brought out our first safety car of the race. So our championship leader is going to be not finishing this race. And that has potentially thrown in a... You saw that, right? I mean, I saw that I just about caught that. I don't know what happened there. Now, who is going to pit? I mean, it's a long way to go on hard tires. It is a long way to go, but I'd probably take the chance and change onto the hard tires if I am these drivers in the chat right now. Yep, actually no, I'm staying out if I'm Ola Ritchie. Smart. Naismith pits, Jan pits as well. Trying to back up the pack so he doesn't double stack. Lots of drivers pitting, so we will have to see. We'll have to see if this is the right decision, but I think the tire delta, once Ola Ritchie does pit a lap 18, I want to say, onto the hard tires. Oh, I am hungry. You can hear my belly rumbling. That's unlucky there, Tonga. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but I think maybe it was a late defense from Yuri. That's what it potentially looked like anyways. The whole grid, apart from Waza and Ola Ritchie deciding to stay out, or sorry, decided to box. But Ola Ritchie needs to pit around lap, I want to say 18, onto some mediums, or sorry, onto some hards. Maybe even longer, 20, 22, I want to say. No, even sooner. What am I saying? Pit lap 16, I'd say. Thought I had a better shot. Yeah, I mean, not too sure. Not too sure what happened there. You can obviously go back in the stream and see from my perspective there. This is an unfortunate one, I think. I think maybe you maybe didn't anticipate the speed that he was closing in at. But mistakes happen. Kaka's doing some brake dragging, which is not really beneficial this year, unfortunately. You still have time? Okay. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's one for the stewards or not. Since you both DNF'd, but you move slowly. Not throwing it? Yeah, fair enough then. I'm not sure if it's one for the stewards, but obviously it's ruined both of your races, so that'll be up to Tonga to see what he wants to do. Haven't read the chat yet to see if he's angry or not. But then he moved again and I haven't got time or space to move. Okay. Safety car in this lap, so just 2 laps of the safety car. Ulrich, of course, has control. He's lucky he's got a fairly a little bit slower driver in Waza behind, so if he can build that gap. Kaka, don't take big points. It's definitely spiced up the championship a bit, which is always nice. Waza's using a lot of ZRS to try and close up to the back of Ulrich and try and take the lead. No. Kaka needs to get past Waza as soon as possible to try and get back onto the back of Ulrich. But Ulrich is building that gap. So a bit of difficulty perhaps from Paddy to drive this car, but he has got back within under that 1 second window that he does need for DRS, and should have the DRS. Yes, he will. He needs to stay right where he is. I mean, to be honest with you, this is a race to lose, I have to say, for Kaka. Oh, yellow flags. I can't really see what's happened. I think that's Alavriadis right at the back. And easy move for Paddy. Virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. I'm not sure what happened. 10-second penalty for... Oh, Marios is... Yeah, that's why. Marios and Jan seem to have had a collision. And is that a front wing missing for Jan? It seems like it. Yep, it is. It is indeed. Is that a front wing missing for Marios? Yes, it is. So 2 front wings missing on the safety car restart. Oh no. I mean, it's not a bad shout, to be fair. It's not a bad shout, but he's only going to have 5 lap tire delta on the hard runners in front of him. Come out right at the back of the field, I'd imagine. And Jan is retiring in the pits. He's had enough. But boxing under the virtual safety car, unless you're boxing with a few others, is always an iffy decision. Rios chooses to go onto the soft tires, so that is interesting indeed. He'll definitely be needing to do at least one more stop. With this oh, it's a full safety car. I didn't even realize that it was a full safety car. I've still got the virtual safety car on my screen. So the safety car will be in at the end of next lap, once they've allowed the back markers to catch up. Waza is still driving around without a front wing. I'd imagine he's going to come and get that change right now. Oh, ignoring yellow flags, so he overtook someone before the safety car line. That is not what you want to see. It's unfortunately picked up something of a penalty. That's really unfortunate. Marios is going to be changing off his soft tires, so... And he's also going to be serving his penalty as well. Oh, Waza goes onto another set of soft tires. So he will have some pace early on. Safety car might stay out an extra lap now since Waza has had to change his front wing. He will indeed be staying out another lap. This game is so broken. 10 seconds for Sparrow for speeding into the pit lane. And that is most likely going to be his race over. But we are back green. Racing once again. Oh, very near miss from Olorichi there. Does a good job to avoid the sliding car of Jazz. Oh, and Paddy is not quite into the wall, but very has a big incident there, it seems like, and drops all the way from P1, I think it was, all the way to P10. So unfortunate for Paddy. I can't see the chat. The chat is not popping up on my stream. So something is wrong with this game. There we go. Now it's popping up. I can see it on my laptop, but on the stream, it's not popping up on my PlayStation. Ulrich down up into P6 now. He needs to get past Mihu and Divine as quickly as possible. Because that gap is starting to form. Destroyed your McDonald's. Nice. What did you eat? Yuri out. Yuri is out indeed. Yuri is out. He had a big crash with Tongina. Ulrich breaks late and is able to get past very nicely indeed. Past Divine. Now has a little bit of work to get onto the back of Shermader, which he seems to be doing very nicely. Yep. So he will have DRS on Shermader in front of him now. Kaka and Naismith swapping positions. Divine for the win. Yes, I do know Strasbourg, of course, my friend. Side by side with Shermader and Ulrich. Not the ideal place to overtake there, unfortunately. Shermader will have DRS. And Kaka and Diron Naismith can swap positions and, you know, take away this win pretty easily. I mean, Ulrich does have the fresher tires by 5 laps. Yep, swapping positions once again. Working together very nicely. Shermader and Ulrich, she's gaining on Naismith, the car ahead. If I'm Ulrich, I am keeping this position in front of Shermader. Definitely seems to have more pace and is slightly dropping Shermader. Shermader just needs to do the best he can in order to stay in the DRS of Ulrich in front of him, and he'll get dragged along up to the front 2 cars of Kaka and Naismith. Kaka and Naismith swapping once again, working together lovely indeed. Ulrich really has to put in some solid laps here. I mean, I'm not sure exactly the tire wear on these hard tires per lap, But Ulrich definitely seems to be in a good swing around this track. Getting another couple of tenths there. And now Ulrich has dropped Shermanator out of his DRS. Side by side with Divine and Marios for P6. Divine just has to concede, but he will have the benefit of DRS now and should be a fairly easy overtake now. Nope, he's going to stay behind. Opts to stay behind. Paddy is into the pits and has gone for some mediums on lap 21 of this race. Has a big gap to build up or to fix up or try and get back in, but Jazz, I believe, had a yellow flag there. A little bit of a moment for him, perhaps. Paddy going to try and salvage anything he can from this race. A couple of points would be lovely. Ulrich is gaining, despite not having the DRS on the cars ahead. His tyres are in a much better shape than Naismith and Kaka ahead of him. So if he can just keep on clawing back a couple of tenths per lap here and there, that's all he needs to do. Shermanator running comfortably in P4 at the moment. Could be a huge result for him, not with lines like that though. Does have Waza on some soft tires behind him, who needs to definitely pit again. 4-second gap, and me who's actually able to overtake Waza. 1.2 seconds now between Ulrich and the car's head, and that is Shermanator into the wall, unfortunately. Oh no. Was having a very, very solid race indeed, and he's just binned it. Is his wing missing? Yes, it is. Oh, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. Ulrich is in the D. Shermanator 10 seconds for speeding into the pits, and he has retired himself in the pit. So that is really unfortunate for him. He was running in a really good position, and it's just come undone for him, unfortunately. All with one corner. This race could be Ulrich's to lose here. I mean, he's still gaining, which is good to see. Just needs to get behind them if he can. Recharges the DRS, and then you just let the tires do their thing. On board with Mihu now is going to be looking to overtake Waza, but is opting to stay behind for now. Waza has drained a lot of his battery to stay in front. And at the end is really where we're going to be seeing the advantage from Ulrich on these fresher tires come into effect. Divine Eye into the pits now. He has gone onto a set of worn mediums. Interesting. Oh, very wide from... Oh, never mind. Little lag there. What is going on? What is going on? No DRS for Ulrich once again. Was I not able to overtake Mihu there? And Ulrich is well and truly on the back of Kaka and Naismith. Now needs to do a good job of recharging ERS. Sparrow picking up 10 seconds for speeding in the pit line. Gonna be tight. Yes, it is. It is indeed. I'm trying to coach Ulrich as we're going. Ulrich is using, and so is Kaka. That Red Bull will definitely be a distraction, although it is ghosted now. Now these two have history, it has to be said. Kaka and Ulrich do have history from Singapore last season, I believe it is, or this season perhaps. I think it is this season. So going to be interesting to see how they come together on track this time around as well. What we're going to be seeing, I mean, you guys are not going to be seeing, unfortunately, but we've got Ulrich right at the back of Kaka, who seems to be falling under a bit of pressure now. He still is in the DRS of Naismith in front of him. Oh, that is a yellow flag. Are we going to be seeing a late safety car? That would definitely spice things up quite a bit. Kaka decided to now go back into overtake mode. Big send down the inside from Ulrich, squeezes him onto the curb a little bit. That's just about legal. Very nice overtake from Ulrich indeed. And now Kaka behind on those worn hard tires. I mean, Naismith is at the mercy of Ulrich, it has to be said. has to be said. Ulrich needs to do a good job of recharging if he can, but he's got the fresher tires to his advantage. Doesn't want to overtake too early, of course. Just sound, yeah, I know, it's really annoying. Ulrich going for the lead now. Has the lead the race. Naismith is not recharging his battery. 4 laps to go now from here to the end of the race. Should not be any safety cars from here. Ulrich needs to do a good job of recharging on this lap and then fly away on the next lap, I would have to say. Kaka in P3 at the moment has a full battery, so should be able to take off this position from Naismith. And penalties still could play a big factor in this race. 3 seconds for Waza. Ulrich into P2 at the moment. Naismith has taken the lead in turn 1. We're going to see a move from Kaka down the inside. Thinks about it. Gives Ulrich something to think about, that's for sure. Ulrich needs to overtake on the final lap if he can, and be careful of Kaka behind him as well. Only looking in front here, Ulrich. He's going to be under pressure from Naismith behind to try and get in front. Sorry, from Kaka behind to try and get in front now. We are seeing Kaka use his ERS. Kaka's moved up into P2, so that is double overtake from Ulrich and Kaka on Tyrrell Naismith. Penultimate lap now. Penultimate lap. This is going to be a tight finish indeed. Those tires really should start to come into effect. Kaka has much more ERS than Ulrich. Last lap of the race coming up now. Gap between Kaka and Ulrich is just over 5/10. Coming up onto this long DRS straight now. Kaka's had a fantastic run. He's using all of his battery if he can. Oh, I think it's not going to be enough for Ulrich. It's not going to be enough. Kaka takes P1. Breezes past very easily indeed. Now, what can Ulrich do? One final DRS zone to try and overtake. Kaka still has about 40% compared to Ulrich's 25. Oh, big slide from Kaka. Side by side. Oh, side by side with Naismith, who's also coming to the equation now. Ulrich in the lead, coming up to the final part of this air. Big send around the outside from Kaka. Very good defense from Ulrich indeed. Kaka's going to try send it around the outside. Switchback attempted. Ulrich blocks it off very nicely, and a couple of corners to navigate now. Can Ulrich do it? Sarah sends it down the inside. Ulrich, and he loses it. Oh my goodness. Kaka comes across in P2. The Earl Naismith P3. Ulrich gets his first win in Division 1. Come on. Come on. What a fantastic end to the race. Woof. Fantastic. Jesus. What a race. Driver of the day, Waza. And poor connection quality apparently is the reason why we can't see this. This is some bullshit, man. Some straight up bullshit. There you have it, your final standings for the race. Ulrich picks up its first win in Division 1 after starting P2. Had a bit of a tough time. I mean, it was definitely not an easy win by any means. Kaka finishing P2. Daryl Naismith picks up a fantastic result for him in P3. Marios in P4. Solid result for him, actually, after pitting 3 times. Paddy was able to recover back to P5, so not a bad finish for him as well. Mihu P6. Waza P7, Jazz P8, picking up some solid points with Divine Eye as well. Sparrow P10, and Alavriadis finishing the race in P11. That is it. We've had 4 DNFs tonight, unfortunately. Sherminator, Jan, Tongana, and Yuri. But that is it. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Apologies for the broadcast for the last few laps or so. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But yeah, really, really unfortunate that we weren't able to see that fantastic finish. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Hope you have a lovely, lovely evening, and I'll catch you all next